guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new and you've just tuned in for the first time, there's a lot of videos on here that you can check out. It's a motorhome that's being built. I mean, I put it down for the moment because the fuel prices are just crippling. I've got a V8 rat rod. I've also put that down because of the fuel prices, what they are. But what we are now doing is a couple of series on motorcycles. One of them's a YBR 125. Now if you go back to the CB, hang on, I've got to think about this. I'll put so many videos that I've forgotten. If you go to the cb550 and the other bike episode, you'll see the beginning of this one, and then you can see the CB resurrection video, or it's actually called recommissioning because it is literally what it is, a hedge find. You'll see all of this being worked on. Now you've come here for the cb550 electrics, so I've temporarily bolted one of the clocks back on. I don't have an ignition switch for this, so we're not going to get anything running on this here episode, unfortunately. I need to order an ignition switch and I don't get any money till next week. However, what we can do is we can try and work out where most of these wires actually go, because I don't really know. For example, right, we've got this original fuse box. Hang on, let me just move some of this stuff out of my way. We've got this original fuse box controller unit that bolts to the other side, but what is missing is the clips, the plugs that go in there. So I ordered this, and then because I didn't have this for that, I then ordered this, not realising that plastic cancer has got the plugs. I actually do sit in there, but what I do have lying around is the original plugs on this loom. So what we're going to have to do is I'm either going to have to tape this all up to look like this, or I'm going to have to take all these plastic clips apart and switch them all over. Now I did go out of my way the other week to buy a whole load of those to insert into those to be able to strip them out. There's going to be a lot of photography work going on here because I've got to work out what goes where. We've got one plug left over here, which is not in its best of condition. It's been heavily siliconed up for some reason. So we've got that one. We've also got an oddball plug kicking around here somewhere. Where is it? I did see it earlier when I came in here. Here it is. This is the original patch lead that they used to run the bike. It has a really good quality plug on the end. The wiring itself is pants. But we might be able to disconnect all of this and plug into that and then go into the original part of the loom. I don't know yet, we'll see. But it is a plug for the, I think, the original underside. But here comes my next problem. Not sure how easy these are going to be to clip in. I don't even know if they're going to be able to be clipped in. That's the other problem I got. So it's a challenge. This wiring loom is a challenge. I'd love to buy a new one, but we're talking probably a few £100 to buy one that's sort of been remade up and started again, if you see what I'm saying. So yeah, it's complicated. Takes a while to go through those tools to find the right one. I actually found it on this one, what I was looking for. There you go. The cheap Chinese jobbies, but they do go in there and they do release, which is good. Because not only do I want to change that plug over, but at a later date, if I wanted to clean any of these terminals up, I could just strip them out there carefully and dip them in acid to clean them and then whack it back in. But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? So next on the agenda is to pull them all out, but remember which one goes where. That's the important bit. So I now need to get my camera and photograph. Right, I've done one. There you go, there's the old one out. I'll put them back in order, best of my knowledge. The trick to it is to get the right key that's the exact width. Now let me hang this camera up. For those of you who have never used one of these, you'll see there's a little groove just there. I don't know if you can see that, but that needs to slide down inside that groove. Now don't get me wrong, it don't always go in smoothly, but that has to be the exact size for that to go in. And then what it does is it releases and I'll demonstrate on one of these that's already off because it's rotted. You'll see a little pin that sticks out here. You see that? I don't know if you can. It gets underneath that, coming from the other side, across, pushes down on that, and then you can pull the wire and out it pops. It is really that simple. Well, I say simple, you do get the odd stubborn one. Frequently. Let's see if we can demonstrate. So, straight into that one. One gone. Oh, that snapped. Oh, you bugger. Yep, that's not going to be easy. Right, there's one gone. There you go. You see what I'm saying? They're not easy. It's got to go. You can see it transparent on this one. It's got to go all the way in. And trust me, they're not easy. Another one gone. Another one gone. Another one gone. They're a little stiff. But I personally think this is better than cutting the wires and pigtailing them. There you go, one clear plug. And I just wish I could have shown you it better, but it's just the way it is. Right, well, I say clear, I've got one stuck in there. That is a stubborn mare. Oh, that's not going to be an easy one to shift. Right, and there we go. By pushing an Allen key behind. Oh shit, where did that go? Despite the fact that when I pushed the Allen key in, the tool flipped out somewhere and I don't know where it went. I did find another one that fits. So that's the two plugs replaced. Definitely in a bit better condition. Oh, that one's starting to crumble there, but there's a trick. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll give it a go, and that is to heat it all up. I don't think I have another one of these. That is it. Yeah, that's the only one I have. I don't have any more. That one is, but the colours are different, so I'm wondering if this is just something else. Has me confused. Right, so we've put that in. We've pushed those through where they belong. We've put 3 on there. I have no idea if they're the right 3, but I now need a book. I need a wiring diagram because I am completely now confused. We've got that plug up there. We've got that plug up there. We've got one plug on this panel, which I think that one belongs to that one. But it then leaves me with that one. And you remember I said I wasn't going to cut this plug up. That fits that. That doesn't mean it is that. Yeah, it does. 2 reds. Someone snipped them out of the plug there. So yeah, I think that is the fuse box. Wow, that has messed my head up even more because I thought they went onto the fuse box. So what on earth are they for? This is why I hate electrics. It took me a few hours to figure out why those 3 wires have the same colours as those 3 wires, but looking at photographs of various other models that I've seen, it could be that they are indicators. There is an old vintage indicator unit tucked away behind on here, one of them aluminium cased ones, square, and that's pretty much the way I found it online. So I'm hoping, I don't know which wire goes to where they are. I think they're specific if memory serves, so at least we know where they are, and if I can't get indicators, I've just got to flick those wires over. So that's pretty much all I can do on that at the moment. That now needs to be bolted in position really, and then the rest of these plugs clipped in. Even this sits in there somewhere, unless the wires go to that. I don't know, shouldn't think so. That's an electronic one-way valve. I've forgotten, not a resistor, oh, I've forgotten what they're called. Anyway, I know what it is. So yeah, that can go in. I suppose that would clip onto that one then. There. Right, well, I suppose part one of we'll do parts per day of coming out here. What the hell is that for? That's a high heat wire. Oh, coils. Something to do with coils, I reckon. Right, well, I know all this little lot belongs to that little lot. That I'm confident on. I know that belongs to that little lot up there. That lot belongs to the coils down there. I don't know how much more there is. This, I suspect, is a back switch for that. Possibly. And all of this lot is switchgear headlights. But I am missing a headlight. I'm hoping it's actually in the light itself. I bet it in. I bet I ain't got one of those. When I was building trikes that would get looty out, I need a plug. Even a relay plug will work for that. And we need to get some bullet connectors and start popping bullet connectors everywhere. So I might pull apart some other looms that are no more good. And now I've got some rubbish and a couple of tubs here. Look, one there and there's another one up there. So I'm sure I can find something. See where we go with it, shall we? We just need to put everything together, and then I'll label everything so I know where it goes when I pull it all off again. Once the wiring loom is done, I'll put the cover on the engine, put the oil filter on, put a bit of oil in it, pour some fuel down its throat, and literally chuck it over with a starter and see what happens. And once we hear this thing running, I'm happy to pull this apart and start the paint. But I'm warning you now, we're a long way from that. A long way. A few weeks yet. Hey, some of you are probably wondering, if you've tuned in later in the build, that nothing is painted. And the reason behind it is, if you go back to previous episodes, you'll know that there are bits missing left, right and centre. I've had to buy a lot of stuff for this particular machine. And it's looking like the spending is not stopping anytime soon. These are the coils that came in the box. Neither of them fit. This one is too skinny. Look at that. So that ain't the right coil. And this one I thought, okay, well, we're a little bit closer, but no, we're not, because that don't fit either. Now, I don't know what the ohmages are of these. I don't know how important the ohmage is. But I do have some other coils that I took off a broken bike that I broke a long time ago. And memory persists to be good. They are in here somewhere. Oh, where did I put them? I saw them today, actually, funny enough. No, that ain't it. Okay, in here somewhere is a done-in old set of coils. Ah, there we go. Said I saw them. There we go. These. So I don't really know a great deal about them. I'm assuming they're GSX. I'm 90% sure that's what I took them off. I had a GSX engine and I ripped it out of the frame, which was a trike, and put a car engine in because the GSX was just being too troublesome. But there was nothing wrong with these. So on that note, they're the same width, so I'd have to make up some new brackets if I couldn't get away with using those steel ones that are on there now. I mean, chuck it in the comments. Am I daft using these? Is it a risk? One not worth taking? FL102s. What's this one? Because these ain't original. FL706. FLs. See, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't see the harm in using them, but I don't know. This is what I got with some nice old long leads on. These, as you can see, are done. This one even worse. No, this one, sorry. Check that lead out there. I mean, someone's melted that on the engine at some point. I'm surprised this bike even ran. I mean, I was told it was ridden back to the garden, but I'm surprised about that. So we've got some coils. We could use them. I'm going to double check with a friend. And meanwhile, guys, I would love some input from you lot if you think this is a bad idea or not. The other thing I've got to do is I've got to get a new ignition switch, and the ignition switch kit that I found also has the lock for that, which would be nice to put back in. I don't have to fix the old one, which is currently sitting in oil still 3 weeks later from when I put it in there. What else? And the ignition switch has got me a bit confused as well, because it has a rounder plug on the end. One set has a round plug, one ignition switch, which is supposed to be a direct replacement, and the other one has spade connectors like that. And I don't have, from what I can see, spade connectors, unless this is the ignition that plugs straight into the bottom. I mean, it could be, I suppose. I need to have a closer look. I mean, it might be. I need a wiring diagram for this thing. So yeah. So tomorrow when I come out, I'll wire the fuse box up, we'll cut those plugs and we'll get the solder. And I think at the same time as we're going to start clearing all this mess here, because I can't get round here at all. The whole point of this bench being in the middle of the shed was so I could get round it to do various jobs. But at the moment this thing is so big, I've actually got it resting on the saw. So it's not something that's been possible to do. And I'm just trying to get this wired up enough. I was hoping to get the engine running on it, but I don't know if that's going to happen now. But when I put the battery on, I'm hoping I can get some power through to the lights, and I've got to rewire all of this lot because somebody has snipped them all. So I've got to find where they go and put them all back, and I'd like to try and get some indicators working. So yeah, the forks will probably go on, but if I don't, I might cut a couple of pieces of tube to wedge in there so I can put the headlight on temporary with all the body on, just so you guys get an idea where this is heading. So we're not done yet. There is more to come. I've got to find a way of fixing that. I mean, you can buy new switchgear from Dave Silver's. I have seen them. I didn't check the prices, but buying a complete arm just to get that out to replace that with, because I would like to use my original stuff if I could. These are all aftermarket parts he sells, so they're 90% chance going to be Chinese made, and really don't want that on here because of the build quality. Some of you will understand where I'm coming from. Some of you will be probably shouting at the screen or talking to the screen saying, actually Chinese stuff's not that bad really. Excuse me, I personally think it is, and you know, that's just my feelings on it. I've had a lot of stuff from China over the years, and like most people, we usually end up complaining about it at some point. 'Tis a new day. I've been trying to muddle through this wiring loom. Think I might have figured some of it out since last night. Right, so you've got the two point systems in there. The only wires I can find that match the colours is there. And I was looking at this, and it's STP SWT. Well, I can only assume that's stop switch, which runs down there, which I haven't fitted in yet. So maybe we'll figure that out. These must be the coils then, but I don't know for sure. And then we've got these two wires here, which I have no idea what they're for, unless they're the horn, because they do go more forward. Another big large earth. Assumptions again. Brake light switch maybe, or clutch switch, not sure which of the two. When we come around to this side, because I was thinking, well, okay, so where the hell's my rear brake lights? Well, that must be this little cluster here, indicators and brakes. So I don't think we're going to get this running without an ignition switch, because I don't know the combination of wires for that. And quite frankly, my own personal feeling on it is I need that switch anyway, even just to get the basics of the lights working. I need a wiring diagram, because I am absolutely stuck at this point. Not all of it is difficult to figure out. We've got an orange down here. I suspect that will connect to that orange, and the orange for the other one, so that might be the main lights. But then I asked myself, what in hell's name is that plug for, because I don't fit nothing. But the ignition switch does have spade terminals on the bottom, so it could be that could be one of these as the ignition switch. Where are we? We've got a 4 plug there. We've got a 6 plug plus a whole load of bullets there. So we've got 2 6 plugs to play around with and a load of bullets. And then we've got a wire in the orange wires, which we've got here. Oh, we've got 2 sets of orange, look. Got another one there, you see. I need a wiring loom. I need a wiring diagram, sorry. It's got me beat. I'm not enjoying this. I hate electrics. And it don't get any worse than this, in my opinion. And hey ho, there's wires coming out, look. Why would somebody pull that apart? They gain nothing from it. So that's just lights. Yeah, they're backing lights. There's nothing special about those. We got any? No, we just got backing lights in those clocks as well. So the main beam and all the indicators are in that centerpiece. So, and they haven't been hacked. They're all in that loom there. So that ain't so difficult to figure out, is it? That's just backing lights. So we need to find the main light sources, which is probably these damn orange ones. But so we've got that orange there, we've got that orange, we've got another orange. I suspect that had a two-way connector on one of these that's now missing. You see the point I'm getting to. It's not going to be easy. Alright guys, I do apologise for the slightly shortened video. There's not a lot I can do. I now need an ignition switch. I can't put power to the vehicle because if I can't turn anything on, then I'm not going to know if anything works. So trying to figure out where everything plugs is futile. Next week I'll put in an order for a new ignition switch to go up there, and any other electrics that I need. I doubt very likely I will have those items in my hands until at least Thursday, Friday. So I guess for the moment this will just have to sit, and there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do on it for the moment that will be of any interest, I suspect, for you lot. So with that in mind, what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to get some paint on the YBL 125. I can do more to that at the moment than what I can to that. I know you die-hard channel watchers, you know, the ones that are really into what I get up to, will be interested in that. I will come back to this, but next week. Can't do anything to it. I am at a point now where I'm stuck. There is literally just too much mess. I need to get a manual for it, because I now need a wiring diagram, and I definitely need that ignition switch. So that's where I'm at, I'm afraid. I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to go to that one, which is going to be a whole new video. So this is the end of this very short video, which I suspect is about 10 minutes long, if you're unlucky enough. So I'll see you at the end of next week, hopefully, or the week after, with the CB, and we'll get the other one started, and we'll put that up whenever that one happens to have. I'm just putting black paint on the frame at the moment with a brush. I'm not spending any particular amount of time or money on that. It was a tenner's worth of paint. I've ordered a new set of forks for that, so I'm going to be fitting those during the week, probably next week. I'm not expecting them through the post until Saturday stroke Monday, Tuesday. You know what the Royal Mail system's like. I suspect that's where they're coming from. They're Chinese aftermarket, but they are brand new, and quite frankly they need to be brand new, don't they? So the gashes in those forks are too far gone. And here's what I can't get my head around. Being sensible about this, right? There are motorcycle sellers on eBay selling forks, same condition as what mine are. They don't leak, titled 50 quid. Would you buy them? I wouldn't. I don't want them. So yeah, I'm hoping that the chrome stanchions are the same diameter. That's what I'm hoping for. Might be able to take those apart and then use all the Japanese internals like the springs and the rubbers and everything else, and maybe rebuild my old ones using the chrome stanchions to do that. Or I might just slide them straight in and just put the other ones in the shed out of the way. Who knows at the moment? But it's the stanchions that I need the most at the moment. So that's where I'm going with that one. So we're going to do the forks next week. We're going to get some of the paint sorted out, and we'll have a clear up in here because all that metal is in the way. I can't get to that side. So all the metal's going to be repositioned over there at the back somewhere. And then I'm going to take the tank off and all the plastics on the YBR, and I'm going to spray those all nice and red and get a new number plate made up when I've got the logbook sorted out, and then we'll get the CBT done. That's kind of where that's all going at the moment. So see you next week. Have fun.